have no friends in this building, John. You're gonna have to bring your own.
What you gonna do first?
What do you think I'm gonna do? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, Gil.
Hey Jeff, how are you? Love your backdrop there.
Oh, I know. It's one of my favorite characters on this TV show called Yellowstone. Always a pleasure speaking to you, my friend. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
My pleasure.
Well, season 5, I saw the first episode. Wow, we're off with an explosive season. You know, John Dutton becoming governor, you know, for Chief Thomas Rainwater, good for the land, but not good for the business, is it?
It doesn't appear to be so. It's going to be a whole re-strategizing and reassessment and restructuring and trying to pick up the pieces and trying to figure out how we're going to piece it together.
You know, and Angela Blue Thunder, man, she said a real stark line in that first episode, slave rules for Rainwater. He doesn't see it that way, does he?
I think he empathizes with it. I think it's an imaginative way to kind of to think that justice could be dealt out in such a, you know, straightforward way. You know, it's kind of like the old Western, you know, dogma, but he's also conflicted with the cultural value system, you know, in our Native community of nonviolence and compassion and respect for all things. But it sure is tempting to kind of let the ego go crazy with it.
You know, I find it fascinating that not only in John Dutton's world, all the power struggles and the political struggles and the influence, but also in your character, you know, especially with Angela Blue Thunder, which he said, you know, the power struggles within the Native community too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, we're all human beings, so we all have our flawed aspects of, you know, being part of that family. But the dynamics are really similar for all humanity, and we get to see two sides of it, at least in these two cultural exchanges.
In our past conversations, we've spoken about how I have many friends in the Native community, like one of my best friends, Navajo family and Hopi tribe. And here in Las Vegas, we have the Paiutes. And every year, they're just more and more thrilled about representation getting bigger and bigger. Reservation dogs or dark winds, and also if they talk about Yellowstone all of the time. And I'm just wondering, just is that the feeling that you have when you meet people about the representation, how much it's just grown every year?
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that, you know, and it pleases me beyond words when people in my own community come up and they're so proud of the representation, because that feels like a big responsibility. It always has been for Native portrayals. You know, it's been so you know, misaligned and false for so long, and then trying to subvert that whole notion of its characterization, and then have a present day reality, empowered individual with agency like Rainwater is, and how proud that makes them, and I'm just so pleased that they're enjoying it.
And recently here in Las Vegas at the South Point Hotel and Casino, we have an equestrian center. We had the Indian Rodeo Championships, and I was there for the last couple of days for that. And I could not believe the ranching way of life. It's alive and well. We had Native Americans from all over the country competing at their national rodeo. So when I watch Yellowstone, I think, well, that's kind of like, you know, a time that's gone by. It's alive and well, isn't it, ranching?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially in mid-country. I mean, this ranching is kind of what's been feeding, you know, the country, and people forget that, you know, by just going to the store and buying the food that they eat. But it's a lifestyle that's kind of going to the side, but that's what the Western and the exploration of the country was built on, you know, coming out to new lands and learning how to be a self-made man.
Well, Gil, congratulations on season 5 of Yellowstone. It's always a thrill to talk to you. Let's talk again soon. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.